reports are that some dams broke. Yesterday, the Three Gorges Dam was overflowing. There's no confirmation, but the Three Gorges may have broke and just flooded this entire city. I know they were doing major releases out of it because it was overflowing. And I heard reports of a dam breaking. Yeah, this is in China. And you just look at this huge surge of water. No, it's not confirmed. Hopefully it's not the case. On your scooter, dude? He is. On his little motorcycle. Oh my god. Wow. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. All right, let's get this show on the road, huh? All right, while this is loading up, it take a minute to thank you all for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family, okay? You are a real member of this family. If you've been here to the spiritual report and you've connected the dots, you will see how precious this family is indeed, and who you really are. Okay, so here's our loop plan. We're July 15th, 2024. Kind of some weird blossoming, slow motion activity going on right here. This is kind of different. And you know what's not showing up? Let me darken this just a tad. You can see something right in there. It's very faint because it's surrounded by a bunch of plasma. But there's something in the middle right there. And then there's something over here moving out as well. So all kinds of just really slow activity. You see how this is just really slow motion, all this is? And we're at regular speed, so everything kind of going in ultra slow motion here. Let me zoom in on that just a tad bit. And then we'll darken it. Man, that's really bright. Okay, I guess maybe it's just my camera. All right, so there's your activity. And slow motion events, they appear better if we speed them up. So what I'm going to do is speed up this activity so we can kind of see a little bit better these slow motion events, long duration ones. That right there, as well as whatever's going on there. All right, so it's really hard to go frame by frame on slow motion or long duration ones. You really don't get to see anything, so it's not really worth going frame by frame through all this. It's better if you just kind of look at the loop like I got it right there. All right, and you can see our activity. Let me just back out of this a little bit. Pause it right there. Bring it back over. All right, so just kind of marching through there. See, when we go frame by frame on slow motion stuff, that's a pretty powerful little jet of plasma or whatever shot out of there. Mm-hmm. Look like a couple of discs. Look like two of them. Coming out of there if you tilt your head to the right after that little event right there. It's that little jet that squirts out of there. Tilt your head to the, well, when it comes up here. Tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees. And make it out right there. I want to try something here. Because that is not it. It's, right there. That's the one I want. Okay, now tilt your head to the right. Let's darken this a tad bit. You can make out our craft right there. Looks like it has some windows right in there. Right there. Right there. Oh no, I'll let you be the judge of that. There we go. It's a little better up there in the dark. But you can see our craft right there. The sport model, it looks like, or what they refer to as the sport model. And you can come over here, you can be the judge of this as well. You can come over to this instrument and take a peek at it yourself and click through these and zoom in on them and, be the judge of it yourself. Just kind of reporting on what I see. Okay, maybe it was just the one, or maybe it was two. Hard to tell. All right, let's put that back in motion real quick. Boom, there goes your loop one last time there. There's one right there too. Yeah, let's slow it down a little bit. Back down to normal. There goes our first one. There's the second one right there. Yeah, thought I saw two of them. Okay, so there's your activity around the sun today. Let's get on over to the solar ham and boogie through our report here. I am the boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it early morning, or late afternoon, or at midnight. It's never too soon. All right, let's break this up again. Bing, bing, bing. All right, there we go. So there's your GOES X-ray flux for the moment right there. You can see our long duration slow motion event right there in the middle. Okay, now our solar flux indice, overall indice, is way up here at 233 now. All right, I saw 234 earlier, so yeah, it's down 1 point. So it was at 234. That's a lot. Sunspot numbers 205. We're down 12. That was way up at 217, and our area has reduced back down into the cautionary. So there's that. Now back down to your GOES X-ray. You can see this event right here that took place today. There's a little hiccup right here. It's probably not much. We could go check if it's up. Oh, it's up now. Okay. Still zoomed in one frame too much. There we go. Open that. And there's a few frames. Look at this. What's going on here? Something down here pulling stuff this way. What's going on? There's one out front right there. Oh, right there. It looks like. And then we got another event going on over here. We got 17 frames. Whoops. Okay, opening frame 036. Let me pull this down just a tad. And then we go to town. So just at this opening frame, where's my pointer? We have this teardrop looking effect right here. It's like an eye, almost like the eye is bleeding or something. But there's that on our opening frame. Then there's this. Whatever happens here, there's a jump in data. We go from 036 to 125. So something's going on right here. You can see something round and black. Whoa, what's this? No way. Let me zoom out just a tad bit right there. And then that way we can get right there. Is that a structure? Is that a disc with like an arch going over it or something? I don't know. That one looks different. Just weird something going on there. Okay, well, we'll have to get the rest of this event to find out more. So that was this little event right there that we're already seeing. Okay, so let's back out. Wait, 110. There we go. All right. Geomagnetic forecast all clear for the next 3 days. We're at 15% for X flares, 65 for M flares. We've had 2 M flares, a 3 and a 3 and a 2.7. I guess that would be our 2.7. Moving on here, here's all our sunspots. Here's 3738 that's finally starting to rotate towards the limb. It's still beta gamma delta, but it's declining. Okay. We did have a little absorption event. Remember, I showed you the D layer. Well, here's your response in the geomagnetic absorption right here. Okay. So we're a little bit high right now. What, 3, just a little bit above KP3. So not too bad. It's not going, crazy or anything like that. So, real quick, the visible solar disk is peppered with sunspots today, and the solar activity during the past 24 hours was at moderate levels, with a number of low-level M flares detected around 3738. The region continues to move closer towards the west limb, and potential eruptions around it at this point should be directed mostly away from Earth. Okay, should be pointed mostly away from Earth. Okay, elsewhere, both 3743 and 44 near center disk have been producing occasional C flares. AR 3751 in the southeast quadrant and the newly assigned 3753 near the center disk both appear to be growing. Oh, they do, huh? Well, let's take a little peek here. And this one, that little cluster right there. And then here's our big bad boy, just about to crest the limb. So probably after tomorrow, we'll be done with that. It's kind of cleared our magnetic field line, our IMF hookup. So it looks like we dodged a bullet with that one there. Meanwhile, this is kind of growing right there. We had to watch this one coming in too. Okay. The rest of it looks okay. 3753. There's a little blue and red getting kind of close together right there. But other than that, very interesting. Whoops, back to 110. There we go. Okay, so solar flux 233, 205 sunspots. There's all of that in a nutshell. Let's open the tracker and see if we're track-a-lacking anything. Still that same event, and over here, slight impact on the 16th, which would be today, this coming day coming up. The next 24 hours, let's put it that way. Okay, so there's all of that. The other site article wasn't different, so we're just going to come on over here. Whoa, not going there yet. Take that down. You're not allowed to see that yet. First, let's look at the Schumann real quick. Oh, good. Whew. See, we've been having some good continuity here. Slight little fluctuations, weakening, and then back to normal, a little weakening, then grinding just a tad little bit right there, and then it released, and we're back to normal. Okay, so pretty smooth sailing as far as, our pressure down below, any grinding at the core, any disruptions in our 7.83. Okay, it's a normal 7.83. Everybody should be feeling, well, You're either lost or you're found. Okay. That's why I titled this Lost and Found. Today I observed some human behavior that is, well, clearly lost and found. And we'll talk about that later on in the spiritual report. But right now, smooth sailing for the last couple 48 hours, which is nice. Nice little break. Ugh. Now, whoops, now let's get back over to this. Okay. Right now, the patterns, the wind pattern setup, just watch. Look how it matches everything just perfectly, nicely. Let me get right there is good. It is like matching stuff to a T. Look right here where it comes out of here, splits up, splits and goes into one right there, and splits and goes back to this. This thing is very organized right now. Look how wide the band of motion is at the south here. See how it's just drawing right underneath this hot spot and going up through here. This flow, airflow, is matching the heat signatures to a T. Almost looks like almost like a painting or I don't know. But look at this, how it comes right down the coast, matches the heat signature. I mean, I heard that. Now, let's look over here. This is what I was talking about. This is the organized central, conveyor belt, central point location, everything rotating around that, all adhering to these heat patterns. Guys hear the crickets? It's kind of soothing while we look at something so disturbing. But now look at down here. Look over here. There you go. Let your minds wrap your mind around that right there. We'll look at the sandstorms, but look at the flow, how everything is just like so wide and dancing and moving. There's definitely been some more synchronization. I look at Australia, it just like, I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna be quiet and just like scroll around. Wow. All right. Well, our patterns are really, really matching up more and more now, and it's well, it's a little disturbing, but As you can see, this patch right here, it's still slowly growing in size. It hasn't really, well, it's slowly growing in size. It's still yellow. It hasn't really increased in color or anything, but it's slowly getting bigger. This one over at Tamumasi, it's slowly increasing in size. And as these do, you see that this little heat plume over here as well is now cut off. Some that goes up here, some goes up there. We got vortexes spinning right here. That's anticyclonic, or, compared to this rotation, that would be the off. That would be the anti-rotation of the spin-off. Let's try to do this here. It's just mesmerizing how well it's all just blending together. Everything's matching a heat signature. All the flows are. It's not like there's one independent area that's not adhering to some kind of heat signature vortex flow. Look at this in Australia, dude. This is what? I guess we know how that island was shaped, huh? Or that whole continent was shaped. It looks like a flower blossoming or something. What? It's just. I've seen it like this once before. It's just matching up so well with everything. All right. I don't even know where to start here. Let's go back and just start. So here's our air currents. Everything's, we don't even do jet stream reports because the jet streams are following the air currents that are being created by the water. Okay. What I want to do now is get into the sandstorm. That make you dizzy looking at that stuff? Okay, so you could see that most of the intense sandstorm is out in the Atlantic. I mean, there's a little puff right here, but most of Africa is not as intense as it is out here in the Atlantic. So we have that whole thing. There is a little break in the flow right there, but it doesn't look to be big enough for a hurricane to, to brew. It might do something if it gets in the Caribbean, but we'll see. But there is a slight little break in between this big old plume and this tail end. That little gap in there, if it hits some hot water, that's where you could see a hurricane start to clear out that air. And that gap was created because of our new flow that's breaking across the equator. Air from the south equator or south of the equator is coming up into the northern hemisphere. And when it does, it breaks up that flow right there. See that? It put a little crosswind across it. And then this also organizing is sucking more of the sand up here instead of directing it through the Gulf. But that's been keeping our hurricane production down, thankfully. It really has. I was doubting that it was going to be enough to quell the hurricane production because the temperatures are just so extreme already. Okay, let's get on over to the SO2. I want to get this one done and out of the way. Okay, there's your country. Our country divided. All this would be a lot better if we weren't divided. You know that, right? This is United States of America, not divided States of America. Anyways, this side bleeding out, this side a little peppered here and there with all our perforations. There you go. Fires up in here being sparked by SO2 emissions. They're so hot they spark spontaneous combustion, sparks fires in the nearby brush around the venting site. Here's all your SO2 emissions along here. we did have a serious complex of little purple dots all the way through here, but this region right here has cleared out of purple dots since we've had the big earthquake there. Okay, so it relieved some pressure. That quake relieved some of the pressure in the area, and it may have shifted some stuff, down below, little channels. Dirt fell in a little channel and plugged it up. You never know that. That could happen too. But mainly from the pressure, the quake released a bunch of pressure, and now we don't see any emission sites right there like we used to see. Here at our fulcrum, it's nice and dark. The other ones are hanging out real dark down through here, which is keeping big quake magnitudes down. Stop off in Hawaii. Make sure Oahu still spewing pretty good. A lot of SO2 there and there. Come on over to back them up to their time. There we go. Okay, you can see it nice and dark up there, up in here. This was sparking fires up in here in Russia as well. China, that the opening footage I showed you was in the title. It said dam break, but it didn't specify what dam. We know that the Three Gorges was they were releasing, maximum water release, and it was still overflowing. So if that dam does break, it's going to be catastrophic. And what we saw there was the city of Hyundai or whatever, totally submerged. It just got inundated, and they're still continuing to have problems there. And if you've been listening to Mike from around the world a little bit, see, China produces a lot of products for this country. And when this country falters and gets submerged and all the perforations, start to give way, and all of a sudden they're having sinkholes, landslides, their whole country kind of dissolves, we're going to be short on products. So everybody pray for China. Pray that, the people of China still survive these cataclysms. Their leadership wakes up and stop doing this to their country. That's who's doing it. Their own iniquity. Okay, still stuff down in South Africa. All right, we're good there. I'll go back to that one real quick. One other one I want to do real quick. Our regular surface temperatures. Come back here. Now, there we go. Okay, this is. Whoops. Sea surface temperatures. Your regular standard sea surface temperatures. This is your. Look how hot it's getting up here in the North Atlantic. All right, just underneath this yellow stripe. Also, we're getting really hot water along the coast of Florida, out here inside of Cuba. This is our spot, our cold water anomaly. So it dilutes the temperature overall in this area. But you can still see the Gulf has a lot of hot water. Thankfully, it could all be pink by now if it weren't for this little cold water emissions. Also here, we see cold water emissions coming out of the bottom of Baja California. Look how cooler the water is down here. It's in yellow, where up here it's red, way far north. Why is it not red way far north over here? Because we have cold water emitting out of this region. Look how it's kept this whole area kind of cooler than the rest. See what I'm saying? Now let's get back to our temperature anomalies here. And you can see the corresponding, how they correlate a little bit. How this area up here with all the perforations has heated that whole northern Atlantic. Again, North Atlantic. And look at the North Pacific. It's all getting hot too because of the plume out there. It matches that one too. See it? Okay. I think we're done there. Let's get over to the earthquake report. All right, let's get in here. Ooh, they just had a quake. Our deep quake region. We've had a 4.4 down at 502, a 4.6 at 589, and a 4.8 down at 607. So some really deep activity. There's angel wings. There you are. All right, well, you made it at least at the earthquake report. Trust me, you don't want to see the other stuff anyway. So we have 3 deep quakes, one of them being really deep at 607, the biggest of them all, the 4.8. The biggest of these magnitudes is the deepest. Okay, and then that brings 5 plus activity to the surface, and over here we have 5.3 at the surface, and the other one's a 5.8. Ooh, okay, so step up in magnitude because we had this step up in magnitude right here. Please, Lord, we have this 4.8 down at 607. That results in bigger magnitude at the surface, and 5, well, a little bit bigger than 5. So we saw it right there. System's working, nothing in that area. Pressure being relieved there at that island through the volcanic system. Boom, we have 5.2 at 43 there. Off of Sumatra, 4.9. You know what we do with those here. There's another 5. It's a little deeper there. 4.7 at the surface here. I need to see this one. You can see where our plate boundary ends right here. There's another one on this side. This used to hook up down here. This is almost shifted. This whole section should be up and lifted up on that, and it slid down. The sliding of this area down and shifting these plates, because see, this is the Pacific plate, it just goes back behind here. This whole segment kind of shifted away, and you can see this fulcrum point right here. See how it's driving energy that direction, right? This is coming off of the fulcrum point, and it's the end of the plate boundary. That's almost a fulcrum point quake in itself, just because it's right at the tip of the plate boundary. You can see how it ended up pushing this way too. So there's force down in there that's been pushing that way for a long time, and right here you can see how it's almost like a shovel has gone and pushed up like this, and that's your weak zone right there, right at the foot, the base of this big cliff going up. Okay, you're 4.7 down at 10 right there. Now, just happening, a 5.2 at the surface. Remember, we're seeing magnitude 5 plus at the surface. So, there you go, 5.2. We have heat plumes all through this area, volcanoes in that area. We'll get to America last with all magnitudes. Let's go over here to Iran. 4.5 in Kerman, Iran, at the surface. Energy being released at the surface there in Iran. Very quiet in there. Mid-Atlantic Ridge has got to be busier than this. They're just not showing it. I know there's quakes going on that ridge. They're just not showing it. Fulcrum Point quake, 4.5 down at 205. There's a 5 at 124 and a 4.7. Close. Close means close. All right, so we got all that. Now let's do America here. Do you see what I see? All right, Mom, get down. Computer's being a little testy with me tonight. Okay, we had this one out here. As we come in, we see a lot of little microquaking at volcanic islands. Indication of pressure down below coming up to the surface. There's 3.9, probably around 4. What's this other one? 3.8. So a couple of high range 3s right there. More microquaking at volcanic sites. 3.1 out in the bay out there, huh? Okay, what's this? This is a 4.1. It's off the fulcrum. The fulcrum comes up like that. You can see it kind of push this way a little bit. So this is way out there. This is a diverse quake. It's not our typical region where we see our quake activity. It's 4.1. It's down at 13. So that is a new spot, a diverse quake. Another diverse quake, but we'll get to it. Nothing on the Juan de Fuca today. That's disappointing. We need more quake activity on the Juan de Fuca to relieve pressure. We have that huge orange yellow blossom of pressure, hot magma coming up out there. Now, up here by Rainier, at the base of Rainier, we're seeing little microquaking there. Indication of pressure down below, quake activity at volcanic sites like St. Helens here. There's a little something right over there too. That's a different spot. Little 1.8 out here off of Oregon. Now, as energy comes down through the Juan de Fuca, our fulcrum point, 2.7 at 18. Let's hit that one. 2.2 at 14. What's going on over here? 2.1 in Prattville, huh? And then up here at the top of the valley. Look at this. We have fresh activity. All right. Pressure comes in. This line drives down through this way. Energy doesn't want to turn the corner. It wants to keep going in a straight line, so it drives inland. Bingo. 1.9 of Laytonville. 1.9, same magnitude here at Pillsbury. And then down here, the geysers, it's going off too. Okay, so we just have a little round of pressure, three quakes right there. All right. As we go down through here, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see activity this side of the plate right here in the Pacific plate. And then down here, 2.4 in Gilroy. Little activity in these fault systems through the Bay Area there. Little indication of pressure. Ooh, here in the valley, foothills of these little mountainous region right there. 2.1. There's a 3 out there. Okay, microquaking through the south. Good. Now, typical stuff going on here in Texas, the biggest magnitude being 2. Up here in Oklahoma, oh, give me Okie. 1.6. All right, now, bingo. 3.4 here, right outside Illinois. Now, we just had some severe weather go through that area. Some of it I wish I could have captured, but more of the sphere activity. And I believe this storm and whatever activity going along with it induced a 3.4 down at 9.8, basically at 10. Just right outside the city, too. That's a diverse quake right there. That's a little hint right there, I think. Every time you see these things, there are little hints and clues. Okay, nothing around the New Madrid, nothing up the East Coast. That would almost be like the fulcrum point of the New Madrid right there. So push energy up that way. But this, yeah, I'll let you be the judge of that. We have never seen a quake here. I mean, I've never seen a quake there. What's going on up here? Oh, was that the magical kitty? Yeah. You want to come back in? You're done in the garden? All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Hang on, folks. Let me get the cat. Yeah, I know. Alright. So we'll wrap this up and get to the spiritual report. A little bit of activity around Yellowstone here, but not too bad. All right. Nothing really in that area. Typical magnitude in there. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Hop into a volcano report. Okay. This is, imagine looking out your window and seeing something like that jumping up out of the ground. It doesn't necessarily have to be a volcanic mountain. There could be a fissure in the ground that tears open and big old jet of lava just shoot right up in the air like that. This is Mount Etna. Explosive activity continues. The Volcanic Ash Advisory Center warned about a volcanic ash plume that rose up to an estimated 20,000 feet out of Mount Etna. I repeat, 20,000 feet out of Mount Etna. Crickets. Now, here we go. The new lava fountaining episode, the paroxysm, is in progress from the Vorian Summit crater. Mild strombolian activity has restarted yesterday evening, accompanied by a short peak of volcanic tremor. Then decreased overnight again, but restarted and gradually intensified this afternoon. The activity started to increase rapidly after sunset and turned to a tall lava fountaining at around 10 p.m., which is still in progress. The ash plume of several kilometers high is rising from the summit. Etna, 20,000 feet. Etna, 20,000 feet. Still crickets. Okay. Ebico, 14. IBU, 9,000. Luatobi, 10,000. Semaru, maxing at 15. Dukono, maxing at 7. Actually, it does 8 sometimes. White Island, New Zealand. A recent gas flight over the volcano taken on July 12th revealed the presence of a small amount of ash. Okay, never mind. Matthew Island. Small low-level eruption. New one, Matthew Island. That's a new one. Songay, 25,000 feet. Jeez. Reventador, 16. Sabancaya, 22. And that was just in the 16th. That wasn't even today. That was just in the last few minutes. Now we get into today's, which was several ads. Okay, here we go. Strongly, the paroxysm on July 11th created a massive tall ash column both from the explosive eruption at the summit and from the turbulent hot avalanche that was triggered by its descending over Sciaria. An impressive ash plume rose several kilometers and drifted southwest. Okay, Etna, 20,000 feet. That's the same one. Sakurajima. If I click on read more, we will get lost. Canalone, getting back on there in the central Philippines. Ibu, 9,000. Luatobi, 9. Semeru, 15. Popocatépetl in central Mexico, 20,000 foot blast out of Popo. 20,000 foot blast out of Popo. There's the crickets. Okay. 15,000. Look, here we go. Nevada del Ruiz, 19,000. Sangay, we saw what, 22 out of that 4, 15 out of Reventador, and 22 out of Sabancaya. These lists are insane. Okay, we have 61 active volcanoes on the land, probably twice or 3 times as many on the ocean floor. We have a problem. Earth has a problem. Okay, so we destroyed that and destroyed this and that and this, and now let's just take out the weather and we can get to a spiritual report here. While that's loading up, I'm going to take a sip. I'll leave the dates real quick there. All right. We have to wait for them all. Yeah, I forgot. Kind of our normal flow. It's not too bad. Some of the stuff up in Canada there. Okay, opening frame, current conditions, the nighttime of July 15th. Severe weather hitting Chicago area right now. They're getting severe weather and an earthquake at the same time. They had a 3.4 or whatever, right? So, currently, severe weather outside of Chicago, going through the morning into tomorrow morning, the 16th, noon, convection, little pop-ups through the Ohio Valley. Those are your discrete supercells. Even back here in Kansas and Nebraska, possibly here. Well, it's down in Mexico, but we got to watch out for these discrete supercell pop-ups like that, okay? So convection, then they even blossom harder at midnight. Okay. There we go. Ow. So nighttime convection. We're going to see, severe thunderstorms, possible tornadoes tomorrow night. Okay, starting from tomorrow afternoon, a convection right there. You're going to see severe weather start to blossom and then go hardcore at night. Remnants in the morning of the 17th. Now, this is the day when we could possibly see, geomagnetic activity that's not predicted. We'll see what happens if they catch any energy from that X flare. Okay, so that could have energy to it. Bombogenesis. So we're starting off in the morning with residual severe weather from the night before. It hangs out through noon a little bit. There's convection, your isolated supercells again, and nighttime again. Morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. 21st, noon, convection, nighttime. Excuse me, that's so embarrassing. Morning of the 22nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Most of this is a little too far out in advance. Weather systems change so drastically now. It all really depends. You see stuff like this up here in Canada. This is becoming the new tornado alley over the summertime because that's where cooler air is. It's so hot down in the lower 48 that now we're starting to, what we're seeing, moisture reaching up further north, looking for cold air to hook up with. that will be quite an event right there if that goes into effect. That would be the convection of the 27th night and morning of the 28th. Other than that, the rest of this is like way far out there. And the only thing that's really reliable the next 3 days, because we only know, well, what's going to come off the sun, takes about 3 days to get here. So anything, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, 4 days from now. So, let's see. Current conditions again. I'm concerned about tomorrow, convection tomorrow night, and then the 17th at convection and the night of the 17th. So the next 2 days, afternoons and nights, we're going to see severe weather out in the east there, okay? So everybody be on your toes, paying attention. That's it. That's all she wrote. I am thankful to be alive. Been a rough couple days. See all these pictures I took here? Was wondering what's going on in this cloud. Something going on up there. Right? You see it turning into that butterfly guy with the hand? All right. Yeah, I know people are tired of the heat. You're going to have to do some tricks to learn to adjust to heat. Stay hydrated, short sleeve shirts, stuff that ventilate well, shorts, all kinds of different stuff. All right, I'm just trying to get an image, Lord. Thank you. All right, so there's that. We'll kind of get that up there. Just a couple images. Could be two here. Is that turning out a little bit better there? It looks a little bit better. Oh, because it's on the higher part of the screen. All right, so we'll just kind of stick with that one for tonight. I'm just going to do quick reading, and then we'll let you guys go. Oh, so about the lost and found. After the events of the last few days, a lot of people are so distracted in their own heads that they're lost. I mean, I was in the store. I do my normal activities. I'm out on the streets. I'm out on the roads. And I have noticed a drastic change in people's behavior. They have the 1,000-yard stare, like they're not there, like they're focusing on something else in their head while they're doing, something else. Okay. So I have noticed that the media has really captured people's attention, and now they are so sucked in that they are lost. Now, some of you have taken my advice, not all of you, but a few of you did. Congratulations. You waited a while to check the news today. You didn't just dive right in and get sucked in and spend all day in the drama soup. All right? That's what it is, drama soup. I know it's important and it's historical, and you don't want to miss out on, a historical moment in history, but the media driving it, over and over and over the same thing can get to you. All right. And you're not supposed to get distracted by that and get rattled by it. You're supposed to be focusing on the times we're in and the period, the rapture, the being caught up. Okay. So there's that. So I want you to self-evaluate yourself today. Were you lost or were you found? Did you find that you felt better by staying away from all the news and stuff and purposely kind of waiting until, the time was right where you gotten everything done and you could sit down and watch a little of it just to catch what's happening. But then once they start repeating the same story with all the gory details over and over, it's too much for your brain. We got sensory overload, too many distractions, too much drama. They're trying to get in your head and scare you. The events, natural events that are happening are scary enough without the clowns in power trying to make it worse, right? Okay. So take a couple of deep breaths with me. I need to all right. Sometimes some clicking or a little moaning while you exhale can help you relax a little more. So we're getting all caught up in the drama. Some of us are lost. Some of us are finding that we got to get out of that mess, out of that soup. And it's important that you do not dwell on the past, because look, I am doing a new thing. And as you begin each day, rejoice that I am continually working newness into your life. Okay, I am working newness, not the same old mundane stuff. My show is a little same, but I can work newness into that too. Don't let recent disappointments and failures define you or dampen your expectations, okay? Because what's happened in the media has dampened people's expectations. It has dampened their mind. It has dampened their outlook, their perspective. They're so involved in the chaos of the news, it's dampening their expectations, and they focus on disappointments and failures. So don't let the recent disappointments and failures define you, okay? Don't let that stuff define you. You are different, okay? Don't let the disappointments, failures define you, and don't let them dampen your expectations, okay? Right now is the time to make a fresh start. I am a God of unlimited creativity, so expect me to do some surprising things in the rest of this year. Today is a precious gift. The present moment is where I meet with you. So seek my face throughout each day that I have made, and I have carefully prepared it for you with tender attention to every detail. I want you to rejoice and be glad in it. Search for signs of my loving presence as you journey along the path of life with me. Each day, go look for those treasures. They're out there. They're placed along your path each day. So search for the signs of my loving presence each day along your path. Look for the little pleasures I've strewn alongside, sometimes surprising places, and then thank me for each one. When you catch something that, oh, there's one right there. Thank you, Lord. Simple thank you is acknowledgement. It's your thankfulness will keep you close to me and help you find joy in your journey. Okay, there's still joy to be had out there. Imagine if, say, let's just do a scenario, a hypothetical here. Doctor tells you got 2 weeks left to live. Well, aren't you going to go in the 2 weeks, go really live? You're going to do a bucket list and do some stuff that you always wanted to do. You realize that, oh, hey, it's not, most people don't live until they find out they're about to die. Like, oh, shoot, I better get out there and do my bucket list now. You should have been doing it your whole life. You know, each day should have been another thing on your bucket list or whatever. So it don't get don't get stuck. Now is the time to like live. Go out and live right now. So when you consider you're finding joy in your journey, you're finding you're overcoming your difficulties, you're finding pleasure in overcoming adversity, right? That's your joy. And I am your joy. Those 4 words can light up your life. And since I am always with you, the joy of my presence is continually accessible to you. You can open up to my presence through your trust in me, your love for me. Try saying, Jesus, you are my joy. Try that one. Jesus, you are my joy. When you acknowledge that, my light will shine upon you and within you as you rejoice with me and in me. Okay? So, just a simple acknowledgement, Jesus, you are my joy. That's acknowledgement that you, when you say that, then my light will shine upon you and within you. Okay, so Jesus, you are my joy. My light shines on you, it shines within you. You rejoice with me. Okay, and then ponder all I have done for you and all that I am to you. This will lift you up above your circumstances. When you became my follower, I empowered you to rise above the conditions in your life. Before you came to this channel, before you came and became my follower, before that, you didn't rise above the conditions in your life as well as you do now, right? I think some of you have found the key here in using it, and your circumstances, you're lifted up above your circumstances now. You rise above the conditions in your life now, much better than you did before you found this channel and you started practicing these things. So when you became my follower, when you came here and you watch the show and see this and listen to me, I empowered you to rise above the conditions in your life. And you guys are doing it. You are rising above the conditions in your life. Well done. Well done. You guys are applying it and finding success. You are indeed rising above the conditions of your life. Well done. This will lift you up above your circumstances. I empower you to rise above the conditions in your life. I fill you with my spirit, and this holy helper has limitless power. I promised that I would come back and take you to be with me in heaven, that you may be where I am forever. That you may be where I am. Like live on YouTube right now. What do you know? You are with me. I told you I would come back. I told you I would take you with me into heaven, and that where you may be, I am. Forever. Forever, you guys. So, whenever your world is looking dark, brighten your perspective by focusing on me. Relax in my presence and hear me saying, Beloved, I am your joy. I am indeed your joy. try giving this channel up. Try quitting all the methods that I taught you. Try stopping all of that for one day, and you will come running back here going, yeah, yeah, you're my joy. It's hard to find anything else that comes close. I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to help you find the joy and show you that I am your joy. What else have I got for you guys here? Yes. This is the one I've been looking for a minute. More light and something to drink. Give me just a second here. This is one I've been looking for a minute now, and I finally found it. Yeah. It's not a beer. It's a Monster. I quit drinking. So, as you are relaxing there in my presence, be still and know that I am God. Most Christians are familiar with this command, but not so many take it so seriously. Yet for those who do, like you guys, blessings flow like streams of living water, don't they? And as these believers, that would be you, as my followers, as these believers sit in stillness, focusing on me and my word, their perception of me expands and their troubles shrink in importance. Have your troubles kind of shrunk in importance now that you focusing on me and my word and your perception of me has expanded? You've gotten to know me personally. We're building a relationship. You are really building a relationship. Your perception of me expands and your troubles shrink in importance. They go hand in hand. Your perception expands proportional to your troubles shrinking. So the more your perception of me expands, in proportion, your troubles shrink. You need to look at it that way, because that's the way it truly is, the way it really is. You're gonna have to work it that way. You see what's already happening in society in the news. You can tell how vital this information is going to be in coming in the future, right? I want you to share in these blessings. Take time and then take some more time with me. And while you rest in my presence, I untangle your thoughts and help you view things more biblically. Don't I? Remember, my word is a lamp to guide your feet, and it's a light for your path. My word guides your feet. My word lights your path. Biblical thinking illuminates the path before you so you can find your way. How are you supposed to find your way in the darkness if you don't have something illuminating the way? You need biblical thinking illuminating the path before you so you can find your way. The other people who don't have biblical thinking illuminate their path, those are the lost. You can see them. They're like zombies walking around. Oh my God, I can't believe what happened and that, and it just happened and everything. I can't believe it just happened and that's the only thing they think of. All day long, I can't believe it just happened. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh my God. And then they watch more on the TV, and then, oh, I can't believe it just. It's like, whoa. Why would you do that to yourself? It's important that you get away. You can find out the information, but don't just sit there and go over it and over and over. It's crucial to know that biblical thinking illuminates your path so you can find your way. It's crucial to know not only that I am God, but that I made you and you are mine. I repeat, you are mine. You are sheep of my pasture. Sheep have very limited understanding of what their shepherd is doing for them, but they follow him anyway. Similarly, my sheep, your job is to trust me and follow wherever I lead. Find joy in me too. I am your strength. It's vital to keep your joy alive, especially when you're in the throes of adversity. Okay? Instead of looking and getting depressed by what you see, turn off the TV, go outside, turn on the hose, and water the yard. Water yourself. Hose yourself down with some cold water, and a little shock to the system will take your mind off of that adversity for a minute, right? You need to find ways to find joy during adversity. So find joy in me, and I am your strength. So when you find joy in me, I strengthen you. Okay? It's vital to keep your joy alive, especially during adversity. Now, whenever you're struggling with difficulties, you need to guard your thoughts and spoken words carefully. If you focus too much on all the things that are wrong, you will become increasingly discouraged and your strength will be sapped. Your strength will be sapped. Who here likes it when their strength is sapped? I don't. Who likes to be increasingly discouraged? I don't. So if you focus too much on all that crap, you'll be increasingly discouraged and your strength will be sapped. And as soon as you realize that this is happening, stop this hurtful process, turn to me, ask me to help you with all your struggles. Take time to praise me by either praying or singing, reading scripture, that helps too. Remember, your problems are temporary, but I am eternal. Your problems are temporary. This too shall pass. Okay? Your problems are temporary, but I am eternal. And so is your relationship with me. So, as you find joy in me, delighting in my unfailing love for you, your strength will increase. What will increase your strength? Delighting in my unfailing love for you. As you find joy in me, in that unfailing love, your strength does increase. So, this is the true joy of the Lord. When it says the joy of the Lord, it's right there. When you find joy in me, when you're delighting, you're enjoying this show, you understand what's going on, who I am and who you are, and you're delighting in that, that is what gives me joy. That's what makes all this blood, sweat, and tears worth it. Is when I see you guys getting joy from this show. You're finding joy in me. You're delighting in my unfailing love, and I'm giving you strength. I'm increasing your strength. If I'm making you stronger by this show, this is what gives me joy. Okay, that's what makes me happy, is when you're happy and you're growing and you're getting stronger in the Lord. And that's the true joy that I get, which is yours also now for all time and throughout eternity. Did you know that? That the joy of the Lord is yours now also? I give it to you. The same joy that I receive when you guys delight in me, I give to you freely as a gift. It's part of who I am. I don't charge, I don't do PayPal or what's the other one I can't even pronounce? This is all free. It's the most vital, important information in human history. It's the biggest headlines, shatter every headline for the last 2,000 years, right here. You're blessed to see it. I can't get anybody's attention. No news station, nobody. I'm a one-man team on YouTube. I got to do it all by myself. And I got a few followers that help. And you guys are awesome. I am so thankful for the family that we have. We truly are a family. And we got more than most people do. You're very precious here at this channel, okay? And you're getting to know me, and the more you get to know me, the more you understand who you are. That all this isn't a fairy tale. This isn't a myth. This isn't a legend. This is the truth. What's myth and what's legend is your society and your media. Mm, mm, mm. Something else. You know, the media is to blame pretty much for this assassination attempt, right? Because they drum up all the hatred and stuff. But then they go right after the event and start going into detail. Oh, I wonder who's to blame for all this. Really? It's you guys. So don't get sucked into their stupid game. All right. See right through it. And when you see these adversity coming, you can smile and know it's just part of the plan. And you have a much better access than anybody else. You know what? Like top secret access to the clearance files that the president doesn't even get to see. That's kind of like you right here at this channel. This is stuff that the president probably hasn't seen. This is stuff that most of society doesn't even know about. We're in that time. It should be happening. We've seen all these other signs, and the eclipses and everything led right up to the rapture. And it should be happening right now. Well, the word rapture is not in the Bible. Many people are going to be very disappointed because they're rapture this, rapture that, post trib, rapture, pre trib, rapture. The word is not in the Bible. It says, when you see these things come to pass, look up. You'll see me coming in the clouds. Here's me, the crown, coming in the clouds with power and great glory. That's what the crown is, power and great glory. When you see me coming in the clouds, you will be caught up. Caught up means you will be intrigued, you'll be interested, just like a good book or a good song. You'll be caught up in that song, you'll be caught up in that book, can't wait to turn the page, right? Well, you're caught up with this image of me in the clouds. This is me in the clouds. You are caught up with me in the clouds. You are closer to being raptured than anybody else that has the word rapture. No, no, no. You're not raptured. You are biblically caught up with me in the clouds, like it says in the Bible. And we have met in the air of cyberspace. Okay. I come into your living room, don't I? Or into your car, bedroom, wherever you're at with your phone. I'm right there, right? We're doing this together, so I'm right there in your living room. We have met in the air of cyberspace. You've been caught up with me in the clouds. You have been raptured. That term, that it's a feeling inside. Now your faith has been completed. You're no longer second guessing. You now know. 1000% you know. Now you can move forward. Now you can boldly go out into the world. You can boldly go before the throne. You can go out there now practicing salvaging your day. Maybe your day went smooth and you didn't have any bumps at all, and you managed to make it through a day without having to salvage it. Bravo. Good for you. That's the way we would like to get there. All of us can get there. Okay. But when you get there, then more adversity comes and you just got to keep going. Okay. So it's basically just we're learning, well, like learning how to swim, and now that you've learned how to swim, you're in the ocean and you're a dolphin and you're a swimmer for the rest of your life, right? So you've learned how to salvage your day. You've learned how to help others. You do unto others as you would have done to you. You're out there shining my light through you into other people's lives. Dude, you're doing exactly what the people told you to do. You're doing awesome. I'm just so happy for you guys. I'm happy for the people that trust me and that believe me. And if you're having trouble with that, then just keep trying. Just keep waiting. Don't leave before the miracle happens, okay? Because one of these days, if it hasn't clicked with you yet, it'll click. You're just going to go, oh, wait a second. Now that I believe him and I don't have any doubts anymore, my faith is completed. This is your foundation now, okay? That's why I keep showing these pictures. This is your foundation. This is worth more than gold. You're zillionaires now, okay? You are billionaire times a billionaire now. That's how rich you are. Kings and queens have waited thousands of years for this time frame because they knew. They were like, oh, he's going to be back. Yeah, well, it's been so long. Everybody's like, yeah, I've seen it in a movie. He might come back in a movie or whatever. Well, no, it really happened. It really happened to me. I've shown you. I've been nothing but honest with you. All right. That's it for tonight. I love you guys. I miss you guys. And until my next show, I will be back. Shit, I'm already back. Can't you tell? Can't you tell? I mean, give it a shot. You got nothing to lose and everything to win. I love you guys. I'm going to run up and give you a big old hug, and you're just going to go, oh my God, that is him. All right. So I love you all. Sweet dreams. Get some rest. Remember, don't get lost. Find your way out of that quagmire in the media. It's okay to know the headlines, but you don't need to keep watching the gory details over and over again. All right. It's just going to stress you out. Okay. So if you haven't tried practicing it, try it a little bit, little baby steps. Maybe for the first hour in the morning, don't look at any headlines. See if you can make it an hour. Then see if you can make it 2 hours. Then see if you can make it through half of your day without checking some kind of disturbing headline. You may check your messages, and actually some of those might be disturbing too. So don't check your messages if they're going to be disturbing. If something's going to stir you up, take a little bit of time before you start hopping into that mess. Make sure you're ready to go. You've taken care of other business. So if you get sucked in, put a little reminder, a little angel on the desk, a little cross or something on the wall, something that helps remind you to suck your mind, pull your mind back out of that gutter called the world. Okay, now you can see why it's important that you focus on me and you see through things and you see my face through everything. Okay, it's going to get harder and harder to focus on me. So much more coming. So keep up the good work. Keep salvaging your days. We're in the salvage business. We can't just chalk up a day and go, all right, that's it. I'm just going to be mad the rest of the day. Each day is a precious gift. That's why the salvage work. It would be a waste of a day if you didn't try to recover it and then help somebody else recover theirs. Okay? That's it for tonight. I love you all and miss you all. And until my next show, I will be back. I'm already back.